2018 has seen UCLA rising to the #1 team in the nation. Do they take their first Pac-12 title? They make another step right now. Stanford Beach Volleyball Stadium on the beautiful campus, affectionately known as The Farm in Stanford, California. A brand new facility, 4 courts, gorgeous sand and perfect conditions for day 2 of the Pac-12 Beach Volleyball Championship. A look at the winners bracket. This is the match we have for you right now. USC just advancing moments ago over Cal. They will meet the winner of this match in the finals of the winners for an opportunity to go to the championship. But UCLA has Stanford on tap first. Welcome inside, everybody. Day 2, Kevin Barnett alongside Olympic silver medalist and beach volleyball legend Mike Dodd. Mike, #1 team in the nation. We saw him yesterday at UCLA. They looked like the #1 team. What's a little bit different in the matchup now with Stanford?
Well, Stanford might be a bit bigger, but I don't think it's going to bother UCLA. They were so steady in their ball control from 1 through 5 was so good that I think for them it's just a matter of maintaining the level that they established yesterday because they were awesome.
Depth has been the word for UCLA, no doubt, top to bottom, strongest team in the country. Stanford has quite a task here. They have a new #1 team. We saw Courtney Bowen, big of impact yesterday.
Yeah, she's big and she can get in people's way at the net, and good luck to her today.
All right, on to the rules we go. This is how it works when you have matches and duels and sets all stuck together. 5 pairs. They will play in 2 different flights. We'll have the 4 and the 5 first. You're going to play 2 sets. Third, if necessary, we'll go to 15. You have to win by 2. And there is no break. So it's constant coverage here for you, fans of beach volleyball. UCLA #1, Stanford #4. This is a matchup that happened recently, and it was UCLA coming out on top in convincing fashion. As we will take the sand with the 5s and the 4s. Richardson and Sharp, Carey and Muret, who've been so reliable at that #5 for UCLA. We have May and Zappia. That is a senior and freshman team against Keefe and Chang, and that's where we will start at the #4 spot. 4s and 5s can play a huge role. We just came off of that Cal-USC matchup where Cal looked like they were going to go up 2-0, only to have USC kind of salvage that one and then eventually dominate the overall score.
Keefe starting it off nice with a little roll shot down the line. Peyton Chang checking the wind. Gonna let a little top serve jumper go.
Unable to handle that one is Chang. We saw some creativity yesterday from this pair of Stanford.
Yeah, they did a lot of over on 2s, over on 1 defensively. UCLA probably saw that in the films. No, they've got to be ready for those kind of plays.
Scouting such a big part of the modern volleyball and sports landscape. Mike, you guys didn't have access to a lot of tape back in the day. What did you do for scouting? What did you do for game planning?
I think for us it was just more of a numbers game. I mean, we played everyone so many times because we played so many tournaments that you just kind of kept little books in your mind, really. You just kind of knew guys, you knew their tendencies, and the more you played them, the more the book grew, and that was pretty much how we did it.
So 2-2 early going. Talked to Andrew Fuller before this matchup began. He said, listen, with Chang and Keefe, they have the freedom to go 1 or 2. That's no problem. But anything they can do to shorten rallies, be terminal, is good for them so they don't get exhausted. They don't have these long rallies that we saw yesterday several times.
Zappia just missing that little floater down the line. He's such a great player. Peyton Chang back to serve.
Man, Zappia in trouble, give over the free ball. Highline was the call. Angle is exactly where Elise Zappia was located. And that miss from May. UCLA pair coming off a 21-13, 21-15 victory against Utah yesterday.
And Kevin, the wind already swirling around a little bit. We saw a lot of it as the afternoon progressed yesterday. I don't think it would be unwise to think that that's going to be happening again. So these players are going to have to get used to it. I think that was an open hand dink.
Yeah, overcall made, actually. Yeah. You can use the open hand in here in college more than you can in the pros.
This dink's going to be right on the net. Just kind of looked like a little throwdown, but over is the call, one way or another. Ball to UCLA.
Going to switch sides on multiples of 7 for the first 2 sets, multiples of 5 for the third if necessary. And Mike mentioned the win. We talked a lot about it yesterday. People were probably tired of hearing about it, but it was an absolute factor because we're right back to that where, Mike, it's coming from behind us to our left. Yesterday during the course of 3 duels, it went all the way around and came from behind us to our right. And talking to Andrew Fuller, I said, what adjustments do you need for today? He brought up the wind no less than 3 times.
Yep.
He said that it changed, and our awareness of that change was too low. We talked a lot about being aware of where the wind is, following that, and making choices based on it.
Yeah, and I think here's you're going to see this nice up there from Peyton Chang and getting the ball to drop. And you know, that's something with experience. I mean, experienced players, literally, you're feeling the wind on your skin every second. You know exactly. I mean, you're literally like a yacht racer. You have to know the wind at every second to gain every little inch of speed that you know the yacht can get, and it's the same with volleyball. If you know exactly where that wind is coming, you can hit your shots differently, know how the wind's going to affect the ball, and it makes a huge difference. You got to be aware.
I'm waiting for a beach volleyball player to cross over to America's Cup after their career. Good shot once again, and Stanford off to a pretty smooth open, lead by 2.
Yeah, right now Peyton Chang's doing a real nice job of mixing up her shots, finding the open area on the court.
One-time pride of Mater Dei High School down in Southern California, the Newport Beach native. Outstanding fan support for both these clubs started filtering in about an hour ago. Schedule's been thrown back just a bit. We've had several of our sets go into the 30s. Yep. Haven't seen that in recent memory. Multiple 30-point efforts. 32-34, 32-30. That one's right down the middle, the heater from Keefe.
Again, Peyton Chang making a real nice set off of this pass that's just a little errant. Over her shoulder, up to the net, right there. Good swing by Keefe.
Keefe gets encouraged by the staff to hit. Says, listen, she has gas. You get out there and use it.
Elise Zappia was just born to play in the wind. That perfect little low pass, low set, chop right down the middle. Really knows how to be efficient out here.
Afternoons in Huntington. The wind is definitely coming off the water. Nice right-hand stab, save, and May as well. UCLA wins the point on a scramble.
Nice layout for Zappia. Changing directions midstream and picking this ball up. Right off the ground. And then the finish, hard cross court. It's a nice hit in transition.
Scramble made me think of our food discussion yesterday, Mike. I realized I went to play sitting volleyball after our events yesterday, and I realized we forgot the chicken wing.
Of course.
How did we not throw that in there?
Chicken wing. Sure, we'll come up with a few more by the end of the day.
Another scramble play from UCLA. They keep it alive. And a high line shot. Peyton Chang really looking good early in this matchup.
Yep.
Over in the 5s, Carey and Muret off to a fast start, and what a season it has been for them.
Yeah, yesterday, Carey and Muret picking up their 30th win for the season, and you've got your 5s doing that for you. You're in a good spot.
30-5 on the year, a remarkable record. Good point from our staff in the studio. Said the only pair to get Pair of the Week honors at the number 5 slot. I heard a good quote today too. It was Arizona's Steve Walker saying that you know your team is getting good when your 5s are reliable.
Yep.
You know you've built a program.
Yep. And you know you're trending in the direction that we talked about, where the very best teams are just going to be so even. The gap between 1 and 5 is going to be so small. That's really the goal of the great teams right now.
UCLA, how dominant have they been? Well, you can look at their pairs record top to bottom, 1 through 5. And there you go, 6 different pairs. The different pairs have been at the number 6 spot. You'll play that a little bit. But look at that, 29 and 6 at the number 1. And all the way to the number 5, you're running 30 wins down there.
That time Zappia with a really nice jump float down the line, into the corner, right into the wind right now. The tough serve.
A little miscommunication between the partners. Keefe was headed behind, the set was in front.
You get a great serve that really sets up your defense and can throw off the offense. And that's what Zappia is doing right now. She's really hitting that tough jump float serve right into the teeth of the wind right now.
Taking advantage of that good side and getting a 4-point lead. Last loss for Pepperdine back on, pardon me, last loss for UCLA was to Pepperdine back on March 3rd. They avenged that loss shortly thereafter as another one goes errant out to the side. And what was close is now fading just a bit in the first. Meagan Zappia up.
Your Bay Area.
Pac-12 Beach Volleyball is brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. The coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. Will that be true today? Sun in and out, but the action always good, as the Bruins, who will be playing in just a little while, are cheering on their teammates.
Ready to go back.
Mike, I understand you went and bought a sweater last night down in San Francisco. If you're playing, it's good conditions. If you're spectating, you'll see folks bundling up. Not unusual to have quite wide variety of weather conditions for beach volleyball. Even in the summer on the World Tour, we've seen snow falling.
Yes.
We've seen plenty of rain, plenty of totally clad, lycra-clad athletes on the World Tour. The Hague has been cold a few times.
Ooh, the wind at the Hague.
It's so cold yesterday, I had to go to the bear suit. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I was toasty in that thing. Andrew Fuller, bring it back, man. Head coach of Stanford, Andrew Fuller, wore this thing at the 6-man. Now, mind you, the 6-man, it was 110 degrees on the sand, and he went full bear suit the whole time. I'm surprised heat stroke didn't get him.
Keefe again, seeing the court well, just little tap shot down the line, easy side out, started with a perfect pass.
What do you want to see him do here to score some points and get right back?
Well, they're on the good side, so they got to just be more aggressive and start serving tough.
Defensive miss that time for Stanford, but it hasn't been a miss hiring Andrew Fuller as the head coach. Second season for him, and once again, program record. Last year was 13, the previous high. This year was 16 regular season, and he's running higher this year. And he brings knowledge of not only the collegiate game now, but the international games. He traveled coaching his wife, Lauren Frederick, professional player and still professional player, Olympian in 2016 in Rio.
Talked to Lauren the other day, said she's doing a lot of commuting down to LA, looking for games, playing, practicing with her partner. But she says it's worth it, loves it up here in NorCal. Great situation here at Stanford for the family.
Been doing some training with Carissa Cook as well.
Sure.
There's a look at the happy couple. We used to try and get a nickname for her. It was either, she's a lawyer, so it's long arm of the law, or the litigator, or the gavel. I like the gavel.
Bring the gavel down.
Now, Lauren Frederick, you can see her on a beach near you on the AVP or the FIVB tour this summer. Big swing, but a miss that time, and the lead now is 5 for May and Zappia late in this set. Timeout called by Stanford.
Yeah, you can see.
With a timeout on court 4, let's head on over to court 5. Take our first look at Blake Sharp, Shannon Richardson playing for Stanford. They are down what was 8, looks like now 7 to Carey and Muret. Meagan Muret and Izzy Carey. I like Meagan Muret, number 15, her athlete that she admires. She's going into the World Tour. She misses that reception there, but she loves Laura Ludwig, the Olympic gold medalist out of Germany.
Good player to emulate. Ludwig is arguably the best defender in the world right now. Taking a little time off. Ooh, that was nasty.
You mentioned it, into the wind.
Right into the coffin corner. Good news for Carey Muret is they've got a nice little lead, being on the bad side, so wouldn't be surprised if they come back with a nice pass. Another tough serve.
Yeah, a tough pass, but they hit their way out of it. Right side, that was Izzy Carey.
Boy, Izzy Carey did a nice job laying out on the pass, then getting right back up for a strong approach, snap down on the line.
And Team Cerebral, as their head coach describes them, is up by 6. And there's the emulation right there, Laura Ludwig.
The Ludwig jump float. No run, standing.
And very square to the net.
Yep.
Good tap over that time, and UCLA scores another point. They will be at set point now. I like when kids reach into the international scene when they're watching the game, because it's available in a way it has never been.
Yep.
The ability to see all these international players. We used to hear about them when I was younger, but you couldn't watch them. That ball goes long, and UCLA closes it out easily, 21-14 in set number 1. Back to court 4.
Zappia with a nice, comfortable lead on the good side. Looking to close out this first set.
Perfect positioning from Chang. And a nice transition swing. That's a lot of what we saw early in the set.
Peyton Chang's doing a real nice job being patient, staying in that angle, not jumping around. Nice control and a nice shot down the line in transition on the bad side. That's a tough play.
Caitlin Keefe, legacy athlete here at Stanford. Saw her dad floating around yesterday, Adam Keefe, longtime NBA basketball player. Oh, trying the over on 1, but there's that scouting, Mike Dodd, you touched on. And it's converted.
Yeah, the over on 1s, they work against the less experienced teams, but if you have an experienced team that's really ready and well scouted, it can bite you very quickly and turn around and not work. And the good teams can turn those kind of over on 1s into free balls.
Holding off 1 set point is Stanford.
And that's a big point for Stanford, because now they can go over to the good side and just wing it, you know, and you never know. You get a couple, you start getting the other team tight, and you can make the miracle comeback.
Or at least gain yourself some momentum for the next set.
Yep. And you see Chang checking out the wind, ready to tee one up here.
If you're a coach and you've been talking about it, you watch your player do that, that's a good feeling.
Yep.
And serving right into the wind there.
Great serve.
No touch.
That ball was tight, no touch on McNamara, and it's 21-15 in that first set. UCLA in control in the 4s and 5s. Second set action on the way.
When I needed a Pac-12 conference. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Pac-12.
The 1 and the 4 in a tournament in which the seeds have all gone as you would expect. The higher seed has won every single match in this tournament thus far. The Pac-12 Beach Volleyball Championship. Day 2 action from Stanford Beach Volleyball Stadium. Kevin Barnett alongside Mike Don for the afternoon shift. So go back to the 5s, and there's Laura Ludwig. Meagan Muret serving. And scoring on the other side, Richardson and Sharp off to a quicker start here in the second.
See if they can get one more on the good side for the 5-2 switch. Oh, deep.
4-3, 1 point advantage for Stanford. That's the first switch. Number 2 are underway. That number 2 on court number 2.
Side switch, opportunity for the coach to talk to the players. Would you rather the coach would be able to coach the whole time, Mike?
You know what? It seems like the coaches are becoming so integral in the sport. I think I would. I'd like to see them be able to, give some advice in between plays as far as serving and strategy and different ideas, and be able to roam the sidelines and be a real factor in the game. Because right now it's a little like tennis. They get to talk for so little time, and the game can change and everything so quickly that they're not really an integral part of the game.
As an athlete, would you want to hear from Steinmetzger the whole time?
I don't know. He probably has some good ideas. I wouldn't mind it.
Maybe you're partial to Jenny or Jeff.
I'd much prefer Jenny. Yes.
Steinmetzger in his 6th season. What a program he has built steadily. Initially volunteered as the assistant on the indoor side with his buddy Mike Seeley, pair of national champion setters there at UCLA in their playing days, and then took over the beach program. Became the head coach when it became a full-fledged program under Dan Guerrero, the athletic director there at UCLA. And now the #1 team in the nation, been that for half the season. And didn't miss a beat at all.
Nope, straight in.
Sometimes heavy is the head that wears the crown, but it has not been the case for UCLA. I was talking to Jeff Alzina about that yesterday, and he wondered, because they had addressed it when it happened. When they became #1, they addressed that perhaps possible anxiety. And he said, we talked about it once. I thought it might be an issue for a short period of time. He said it was never an issue. We just kept rolling.
Awesome. You see their practices, the team unity. They're pretty good group. It seemed like they all kind of get along, have a good time, and work hard. They work hard on their skills, and you can see it on the court. Just the ball control, the hand setting, the different plays that they run. They're having a lot of fun. It's nice to be able to mix things up and move the ball around and be able to control things, and they're doing a really good job of that right now.
Izzy Carey bang one down the middle. This time she knuckles it over the top. This is a player who added 6 inches to her vertical into last season.
It's a lot of hard work.
And again, Steinmetzger gets 10 words or less. And then back to your chair.
Okay, keep it up.
I'll be over here.
Yes.
Oh, skyball-esque. Going with the high floater. I haven't seen a single skyball from anybody. It's a lost art, Mike Dodd.
It's out there. It's out there on the beaches. It's just not, hasn't worked its way into the collegiate game yet. And again, trying to get that floaty into the corner. There they are.
Yeah, pair of the week at the #5. What an achievement that was, March 13th. And that's even mid-season. So recognition right from the get-go that Carey and Muret were something special for the not then #1 Bruins, but now #1 team.
Yep.
That ball a little too tight and killed by Stanford. One of the unique things about beach volleyball, you might hear the music in the background. Plays the entire time, much to the players' enjoyment. I would have liked that playing. Well, that's a little extra music. And
it's nice.
The fans, though, we had some complaints earlier. A guy was asking, do you have anything else? It was kind of a Euro beat, and I don't know if he wanted Danzig or Raise Against the Machine, or I'm not sure what he was looking for, but he was not happy with the Euro dance party that it was.
The Euro disco music?
Yeah, I felt like I could get out a glow stick and have a good time. I didn't find a problem with it.
There you see Zappia and May getting off to a 7-3 lead with the fours in game 2.
And May's gone to that jump serve, just taking a peek over there on that side. It was so effective yesterday, serving into the wind.
Yeah, she ran off, had quite a few really good runs yesterday. Just really got her rhythm going.
Things more competitive on the 5s right now. That ball down, and we're tied.
1 point to the switch, and the technical timeout on court number 3. Shannon Richardson serving for Stanford.
So Shannon Richardson, who served well down the stretch of last year and has become her best skill, puts it short, and the over on 2 executed perfectly and quickly by Muret. Technical timeout at 21, a competitive second set at the all-important 5 spot.
So you'll be here to help if I...
If you've ever wondered what Santa Claus does in the off-season for him, he takes in a little beach volleyball, lets his hair grow out, and cheers for the Bruins. Welcome back to Pac-12 Beach Volleyball. The championship to be awarded tomorrow. Will it be Santa's beloved Bruins, or will it be USC for another year in a row? That would be 3 consecutive times. USC getting through Cal, though just barely earlier. It would set up a meeting. A win here for UCLA would set up a meeting with the defending champion Trojans.
Yeah, you kind of think about what's the big difference between SC of old and SC this year. I mean, they struggled in their 4 and 5s against Cal, really risked going behind 2-0, and I think that's what makes UCLA so tough. They've got these 2 4s and 5s that just come out and get them 2 quick points at every match, and that is just such a luxury to have. You can when the next 3 groups go out there, you can afford an upset or 2 and still win the match.
Yeah, USC, of course, had the top pair last year in Clays and Hughes, Kelly Clays, Sarah Hughes, who are both making an impact on the World Tour last summer and now this summer, although with separate partners having split up early this year.
Yeah, I remember last summer, Clays and Hughes beat Laura Ludwig in a tournament, I think 2 weeks before Ludwig went on to win the gold medal in Rio, and that was quite a nice victory for that couple. No longer playing together, they broke up and playing with different partners, but that's beach volleyball.
Clay's making a trip all the way to the finals with her new partner, Brittany Hochaver, there in China. Lost to Sarah Pavin and Melissa Humana Paredes last week. Canadian pair that has really come on, a new partnership for last year.
Izzy Carey doing a nice job of just taking that defensive dig that was coming right up to the net and hitting it over the block on 2. That's what you want your blocker to do. When you dig a ball up there close, you want them to be aggressive and get after it.
15-11, good spot for Muret and Carey. They continue to impress with their physicality. I mean, people talk about a freshman wall. I think Meagan Muret is getting quicker, jumping higher, faster at this point in the season. They lead the Bruins up on the Cardinal.
The view's better from here.
Carey Wallace-Jennings taking to Twitter this morning, cheering on her Stanford Cardinal. A one-time All-American 4 years in a row here, and then beach volleyball legend for whom the first court is named inside the Stanford Beach Volleyball Stadium. What do you have there? Strong, tree, smiles. Love the decode of the emojis.
Very inspirational, but I think they needed her to suit up to really have a good chance with these Bruins. Just a tough assignment today for Stanford.
Thus far, it has been a lot of UCLA. Now 16-11 for Carey and Muret. Good side out there.
Very nice. Well done. Shannon Richardson with a little drop shot back to the line. That was a big serve receive point for Stanford. Keeping them just close enough, and now they're heading over to the good side, so time to get some bomb float serves going.
Server on court number 3.
There you go, Mike Dodd, right on point.
Yep. This is the chance to make the move. That's what makes that previous serve receive side out so important, getting that 12-16 instead of the 11-17. It's hard to come back when you're that far down, but now mix them up, move them around, make some plays. Ooh.
A little deep short, but nobody up for the tight set. That was ice cream on the net.
A little quick of a drop there. You know, you got Carey, you brought her up to the front, then that set is right on the net.
Oh, that one crawled right off the tape. Well done.
Carey dropped and made a nice move on the dink. The ball kind of threw her off when it hit the top of the net. Unable to control, but nice effort.
(17-14), time to make a move. Remember, this set played 21. Transition opportunity. The wind picking up right in the middle of the point. And blowing the ball all over the place. Good idea. Bad execution on that one.
Yeah, Richardson doing a nice job of moving around the court, picking up all the shots. And that time Blake Sharp tried to go over on two, just a little short. See her point at herself, kind of saying, my bad, partner, let's get the next side out.
Now Blake Sharp, a freshman, that one will go down as a sophomore. She'll iron that one in. Oh, speaking of tough serves, that one diving down in the middle. Muret, right side. She just sees the whole court.
Cut for cut. Picking up the cut and then cutting right back. Something Laura Ludwig loves to do. That's just a nice shot.
Great shot up and over the block. Chang.
That pokey not even close, and now we are at a match point. Stanford facing a 1-0 lead for the Bruins.
20-14 on court 3.
Deep shot, too deep, and that'll do it in straight sets. Another fine performance for Izzy Carey and Meagan Muret, their 31st victory on the season.
Thank you.
And they put the UCLA Bruins up 1-0 with a chance to go to the winners' final.
Just doing their job, taking care of business for Stein Metzger. He can breathe easy, looking over at the next court.
And stay quiet.
McNamara, Zappia up 16-8.
Yeah, this is looking like another 2-0. Make it 17-8 with authority from McNamara.
McNamara just put the hammer down on that overpass.
Playing on the pins indoors, McNamara is going to be an exciting player to watch, beach and indoor. She has unlimited potential as a beach athlete.
Yep. She's got the power, but she's also graceful as well. She just moves real well on the court.
Oh, another big blocking move from May. Pokey finds the cable. They used to be twine, but now they have these really nice lines.
Yep. A lot thicker. Camera can actually pick them up.
19-10, solid control. Opportunity to experiment a little bit as May does there, going long.
Perfect pass.
Good defense from the Cardinal. Oh, and stifling May with the deep corner shot.
Peyton Chang again, staying cross court, making the dig and high-line shot. Big points for Stanford right now. They're on the good side. No more time left. They've got to make their move now.
Back May banging away. That looked like an indoor attack.
Back Bay, she'll serve at match point 2012.
Match point, UCLA looking for a 2-0. They would put their number 1 pair out onto the sand with a chance to close it out quickly. That ball pushed out in front. Good play.
And it'll be 13 looking at 20.
Zappia for the win. There it is.
Just too steady.
Smooth as silk, 21-15, 21-13. The high water mark for Stanford in those 2 matchups was 15 points.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Next up, the number 1 teams take the sand. It's the McNamara twins, Nicole and Meagan, with a chance to win it and go to the winners final.
Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Pac12.
The foam fingers are out and the fans are here in force to support their Bruins. Each one of these individuals claim they're the number 1 fan. I don't know. We're going to have a playoff between these 3. Someone's going to have to scribble a 2 and a 3 on top of their fingers there. There's no doubt about the number 1 team on the number 1 team in the nation, and that is Nicole and Meagan McNamara. Twins, 1 right-handed, 1 left-handed, both going 5'9". You will see them split block, and you will see them serve the cover off the ball. On the other side, they will face, you see, a decidedly different sort of pair. A big and little Courtney Bowen at 6'4", and Sunny Villapando, not that small at 5'9", but a definite defender.
Villapando played great yesterday, defending all over the court. Bowen getting up so high on the block, really menacing.
And right away going to a play, trying to get out in front of that block. You know, the McNamara twins, Nicole goes long. She's the lefty wearing number 13. Playing on the right side, although they will move around. Second serve just out on that freshly raked sand.
So the McNamara start the match with an unforced error, and I don't think I saw them miss 1 shot yesterday.
Now their whole game, they say, predicated by the service, and they will go for it right away at a serve. A harbinger of perhaps doom for Stanford. Lefty again working on Bowen. Bowen's numbers yesterday, we got some statistical support. Bowen's numbers yesterday, only 16 attempts, so teams were not serving her. 2 kills, got blocked once, 6 balls out of bounds.
Yep.
What do you do with that, Mike?
Well, you say play. Get out there and play, because, you know, it's just the more you play, the more you feel the wind, the more you learn how to make your approaches that are quite different than indoor volleyball. And you'll see your serves, your errors diminish. It's a process, and no one, not even Carey Walsh, can go straight to being number 1. There's a lot of pain that gets you to the point to where the McNamaras are, where they see the court. Every pass is on a dime, every set is on a dime, and they're just so consistent. That just doesn't happen overnight. That happens over years and years and years of training and learning.
McNamara's have had quite the rise their freshman season, as you look at Meagan, number 31. Freshman season, almost a split season. Remembering correctly, something around 16 and 11, and then they went up into the upper 20s for wins last year as well as this year. We're looking at their 30th win, perhaps today.
Real nice shot from Villapando, deep down the line, had to be perfect to get it over the outstretched arm.
Excellent short serve. Handled well, and look at him pushing way outside of Bowen. Good channeling by Bowen. And Sunny misses just long. 6-3, the advantage for the McNamaras. Already a couple of aces in there.
McNamara is so good at reading the set. As soon as that set is a little off the net, they're dropping and making it difficult for the offensive player to find the sand.
And then they do work a little bit on Bowen, who hits it off the block and out of bounds. I told you she had 16 attempts in the last match they played. By contrast, her partner, Sunny Villapando, had 46 attempts.
Got a lot of serves and did a nice job of siding out.
Oh, cut shot, expertly done.
Right back on the line, and I don't think it's going to be surprising to see Courtney Bowen getting quite a bit more serves in this match, as the McNamara twins are just going to rip these jump serves.
There you go, Nostradamus. And a hand set. Moving Bowen all over the net.
That was a really nice fake from Meagan McNamara, going up with the arms, looking like she was going to attack on two, and then breaking out the paws and setting some sauce to the outside.
New addition to the coaching staff this year, Jeff Alzina of UCLA. He's added in a whole bunch of tempo and plays, particularly for these two, the McNamara twins. Bowen, yeah, she'll win every one of those battles up on top of the net. A look at Jeff Alzina coming over from Long Beach State. 8 different countries. Talk about international experience.
The man has put in some miles. Great guy, great coach. Great pickup for UCLA.
Yeah, and these two, when I was talking to him yesterday, I asked Jeff what he's going to do if he's going to stay at UCLA, and they said, "You're staying? Are you going to be here again?" They would really like Jeff Alzina to stick around. They've enjoyed his influence on their play as well as the whole team, saying that they wanted to, the McNamara's wanted to vary things up. Steinmetzger said maybe that's something you guys can handle. This is before Jeff Alzina arrived. When Alzina arrived, he said, no, I think everybody can do some of these plays and some of these tempo changes. We should work with everyone on it. And that was a catalyst.
Yeah, you know, Jeff's missed out on a couple of more recent good head coaching opportunities for sand volleyball, and so I think if I were UCLA, I'd enjoy him while I have him, because I think sooner than later he'll be running his own program.
McNamara's would like him to stick around one more season because they have 1 year to go.
Yes, of course.
The juniors.
And here you're going to see, with the wind behind him, just lifting that ball a little more, just cuffing it a little off, taking a little off of it and keeping it in the court. Good experience. Ooh, just missing that line.
There's a look at that. There's those 16 wins in year number 1, and then 28, now 29. This would be number 30 if they're able to come up with a victory, and what would be a dual victory as well for their team, more importantly. But they are moving around a lot, and that is why, because Courtney Bowen, when she gets in front of you, it is trouble.
Yeah, on the bad side, that set just drifting a little too tight to the net. You're going to see it right there, and Bowen, when the ball gets that tight, you don't have a lot of room to maneuver.
Courtney Bowen walking around in a walking boot when she's not on the sand playing. I asked her about it. She said, "No, it's an ankle thing. I'm going to play. I'm ready to play. I just got to give it some rest in between." Everybody down in the sand, scramble play, and eventually put right on the back line by number 31, Meagan McNamara.
Villapando doing a nice job picking up a couple of balls on two. You're going to see the layout here by Bowen showing nice range. Great to have a blocker that can move after you make the dig. Just couldn't get the third.
Courtney Bowen looking for her glasses. Ended up all the way out by our cameraman on that scramble play. She laid out all 6'4" in and through the line. Is now get a little line correction too by Nicole McNamara.
Yeah, it's funny when you're watching the McNamaras, you're just kind of waiting for the explosion. When is their serve just going to take them on a 4 or 5 point run?
How about right now, Mike Dodd?
Yep. You know it's coming. It's just a matter of time. They are just so potent and so consistent with their jump serve. They just keep so much pressure on you.
Well, Nicole has been doing the most damage, and from this side in this particular match. Good shot from Courtney Bowen.
Nice job, Bowen, passing that jump serve and patiently waiting to make the good approach and high line shot.
We've hit the technical timeout at 21. McNamara's up, but not that far. Stanford trying to stay in touch. UCLA 2-0 in the big score. Give you an idea of all the action happening right now inside Stanford Beach Volleyball Stadium. 3 pairs going at it. First UCLA and Stanford. UCLA up 2-0 already, having won the 4s and the 5s. We've been following the action closely with pair number 1. On the other courts, it's a little closer. It's 3-4 in the 2s, and it is 6-3 Stanford advantage in the 3s. Kevin Barnett alongside Mike Dodd as we go back to the number 1 pair. And arguably the number 1 pair in the nation, the McNamara's, letting that one go just long. Plan coming in for Stanford and talking to Andrew Fuller, head coach, was that, listen, fight off the serves, put the ball to good spots, and just try and keep the McNamara's off balance. So you have to treat side out, he said, a little bit like serving, just trying to extend the rallies. Not off balance there is UCLA.
Yeah, real nice job of Meagan McNamara. She just hung into that angle defensively, just controlled it like a pass, then went up and snapped against the big block.
Oh, tough serve. Cutting into that wind. Oh, and scooping it with the wind. Perfect set in spite of the weather, as things fly past our broadcast position.
Yeah, Nicole McNamara, 13 with a great set over her shoulder. That serve just gets you in trouble every time. Here's the little dink. Watch this set now, over her shoulder. 5-0, late block, and another point.
Well, timeout called by Stanford, as it is 15-9. So it gives us an opportunity to check in on court number 2. And what do you find but another outstanding UCLA pair in Lily Justine and Sarah Sponcil.
28-7 on the year, looking for win number 29 here.
Facing Morgan Hentz and Amelia Smith. Hentz just a sophomore, Smith a freshman. Good shot there from Smith, number 21.
I mean, between Morgan and Sarah Sponcil, you will not find 2 mentally tougher players in NCAA volleyball, indoor or on the beach. Those 2 are serious competitors.
Well, one thing about the scouting coming in, Stanford said they were going to challenge Sponcil to hit areas 1 and 2 because they charted her and couldn't believe over a few matches, nothing's going to either one of those areas.
Yep.
1 and 2 is the right side, what used to be the typical service side in the game, right back, and 2 is right front.
Tough break there for Amelia Smith. Just out of bounds.
That'll be a side change on 14 UCLA, up 8-6.
There you see Stein giving him a couple quick ideas.
So tight action there at the 2s. We'll slide back to the 1s. It's 15-9 and more hard serving from the McNamara's on tap, causing continuing issues for Stanford.
Continuing issues resulting from continuing pressure. Just the serve is by far the greatest weapon you can have defensively.
What
just
adjustments,
getting a team in trouble right away.
What adjustments are there to be made for Stanford?
You know, I mean, it's really just a matter of maintaining your focus, because you know, things start going sideways and there's no subs, no one's going to come in for you, no one's going to help you. You almost have to try to reboot your computer in the middle of a run. You know, you just say, look, I just got to do something different. And it starts with just mentally just saying, I'm going to do it.
You shut down like a host in Westworld? Is that what we're talking about here?
Shut it down, reboot it.
I don't want to be having a tick like Abernathy, the rancher. 18-10, another fine performance here in set number 1 from Meagan and Nicole McNamara. Freshman of the year, co-freshman of the year back 2 seasons ago. And that lefty jump serve from that spot has set the tone.
She's just really found that groove where she just whips it toward the line, but with the curve heading into the middle of the court, and it's so difficult for the players to decide who's going to take it.
Oh, down the line, just missed long. It looked like a miss hit that almost found its way in.
Our technical timeout on court number 3, 11 to 1 point advantage for UCLA.
Now you're in trouble with confidence from Meagan McNamara. I noticed they started not only moving the ball around, but a lot more shots early in this set.
And that sets up the hit later on, and here we are at first set point for the McNamaras.
On to Amelia Smith. 1 point to the technical.
That's why you don't serve her. If you get a pass and a swing, deadly action from Courtney Bowen. An outstanding 5-sport athlete as a junior player. Another set point. Oh, got Bowen to jump with that fake move. Smartly done. A lot of intelligent volleyball in that first set. The McNamaras, who grew up idolizing Misty May Trainer, part of a legion of girls, taking on beach volleyball.
Redefining possible.
A perfect midday at Stanford. Pac-12 Beach Volleyball Championship Day 2, duel number 4, winners bracket. It is Stanford and UCLA. UCLA already with a 2-0 lead, the number 1 team in the nation, and the number 1 seed in this tournament. And they lead 15-10 in the 3-pair. We get our first look at Savvy Simo and Maddie Yeomans for the Bruins. They're facing Catherine Raquel and Kate Formico.
There's Simo, number 11, just laying out on the sand, almost picking up that dink shot. Such a great defender, both indoors and on the beach. Just another one of the prototype UCLA players like Sarah Sponcil, Zanamuno. Not undersized, 5'8", 5'9", good jumper, good arm, great setter. Here's a little tight pass that she made a perfect set, and Yeoman with a great little choppy back to the line.
That ball falls just in front of Kat Raquel. If you haven't read Kat Raquel's blog, the beach blog, you should do so on the Stanford Beach Volleyball website. Love this quote. She said, because of the immense growth we've had in this program, we are close to breaking the upper echelon. As Andrew describes it, we are velociraptors at Jurassic Park, just trying to figure out how we break down the door.
How to get out of the cage.
And that's really been true for Stanford. They've been so close this year. Losses to UCLA twice, 3-2 the second time. They lost 3-2 to USC, 3-2 to Cal. They've defeated ASU and Arizona, teams they had struggled with before. And they had a 3-2 loss to Cal Poly, who's an excellent team over in the Big West.
Well, the good news is you keep knocking on that door, pretty soon you're going to start going through. You see it so many times in so many sports. Stanford on the rise. Velociraptors.
That's right. Watch out for that claw ticking.
Tick, tick.
Now 17-12, Simo and Yeomans. Maddie Yeomans, in her sophomore season, you can call her the smoke jumper. If you have a partnership problem, Zanamuno goes down, you call Maddie Yeomans. Just dial 14. That's your emergency
Just
code.
Rolls right in to the rescue. We're going to see Formico try to get something going cross court.
Yeomans lets that one go.
Yeah, the wind's going to carry that ball wide, and now it's Yeoman's turn to see if she can get this serve into the wind to move around and get Stanford in trouble.
She does just that.
Simo right on it, up and down set. Ooh.
Oh, bad feeling. You have the open net, you know you get a decent opportunity.
But look at the body language, straight up, shoulders back, saying no worries, let's just get right back after it. Love Savvy Simo, love her attitude and the way she plays, just always laying out on the ground, diving, doing anything she can to make the defensive play. It's inspiring.
Come back for another swing. Don't worry about the previous one, kind of like when Rachel and Ross got back together. You know, give it another whirl. Don't worry about it. Her favorite show is Friends.
Yeoman again with a real nice little drop shot here. Lays out, makes the pass, and then Simple Simon. Steady Eddie.
Simple Simo?
Oh, great try.
Nearly touching it. Maddie Yeomans getting it up enough.
Yeah. You keep touching those, sooner or later they're going to come up. What a nice little number threes team for Steinmetzger. Another little luxury.
Well, what a luxury to plug Maddie Yeomans in there.
Yep.
And not miss a beat. Zanamuno, knee injury suffered a couple of weeks ago here at Stanford. Actually was playing earlier. We're in a knee brace, but fully playing.
Yep.
They initially thought she would be unavailable for the rest of the season, but she may be available should the team make it to Gulf Shores.
Yep.
And I just glanced over here to the number 1's court to watch another one from Nicole McNamara. Nearly gets sent out of the stadium off of one of the Stanford passers.
Just seeing the last 2 or 3 attacks from Yeoman, you can tell she really sees the court well. Has a lot of experience. Here comes another.
Yeah, good run up to this one. Pushed the ball really close, but gets a nice swing at it. Just keeping Stanford completely off balance of the Bruins. Simo detonates.
That's the way to not drop the arm a second time. Extend and snap.
Savvy Simo had 4 different partners last year. Important experience for the end of this season. As we check back now to the 2s. 17 all, most competitive one on the sand. As the McNamaras have already issued 3 aces in the second set, they lead 7-4, but it is 17 all still in the second. Or pardon me, in the first here on the second pair.
Morgan Hentz doing a nice job of seeing Sponcil make the break into the angle, chopping line.
Hentz and Smith spent time at the 1 after the Catherine Plummer shuffle.
Yep.
Plummer out with a knee injury since had surgery in recovery. It's allowed her father extra time to promote his party tonight. Kevin Plummer putting on a shindig for all the teams and fans that have come out for this wonderful Pac-12 championship event.
Yeah, really cool.
One of the nicest guys I've met here this weekend. So friendly. I wasn't sure if I'd bought a sofa from him or something during the conversation. Just great dude. Yeah, whatever you need, Kev. I'm in.
Boy, Sarah Sponcil just got up on that last perfect set from Lily Justine and snapped that thing down the middle and see if they can get some points going here now on the good side.
Sponcil with the read. Sponcil with her track shoes on all over the sand and finally pokes it deep.
Sponcil doing a nice job of just competing, battling. Will never let a ball drop that she can't at least lay out for. And Stanford's going to take a timeout. And they're right there, just down 1 point, 19-18.
More vicious serving going on court 1. Another ball just put away by the McNamaras, but it was keyed by yet another laser. Going from left to right if you're the receivers, Sonny and Villapando.
Now Bowen and Villapando have got to be happy. They're keeping right within range at 6'10", but again, when is the bomb going to go off and those jump serves start to take their toll?
Oh, the wind picked up perfectly that time for the McNamaras. Boy, look at the touch. That's the difference, biggest difference I've noticed, Mike. Indoor to outdoor. We'll see Washington a little bit later, all indoor players, mostly playing outside. It's that quality and location of touch.
Yep.
On the little plays.
The little plays, the overhand digs, the back sets over the shoulder, the side sets. All those little finesse plays, the more experienced players really make it look easy. And right now, the McNamaras are just making the game seem so easy for themselves, mainly because their serve is just getting everyone they play in so much trouble.
If you're Courtney Bowen, would you consider giving up indoor?
I don't know. I think it's a little early for that. She's got a lot of potential, both indoor and on the beach. So I'd like to see her play a few more years and see what she can do.
Looks like somebody who could have a Phil Dahlhauser kind of effect at the net. You see the McNamaras, though, just out-beaching her for the moment. Back to court 2. UCLA trying to wrap it up. Set point. Well done by Morgan Hentz, who is really taken to the beach. Not a lot of beach in Kentucky.
Yeah, interesting. Amelia Smith on the previous play hitting the ball out of bounds, and then you'd think you'd serve right back to her for the match, but they went over to Morgan Hentz, and Morgan Hentz made him pay.
Working on Sponcil. Will she hit area 1-2? No, she'll go wrist away straight down the middle of the area 6. And that will be good enough for the win. 21-19, Sponcil and Justine. UCLA continues to play well.
So, State Farm will be
watching Pac-12 Bay Area.
Now so happy.
Good.
Just. Sweater up.
Pac-12 Beach Volleyball is brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. Everything going right for UCLA. They're up 2-0, and they are leading all across the board, the 1, 2, and 3, having won the first sets in each. Back to the #1 pair in the nation. Nicole and Meagan McNamara. Their service has keyed the day, as it always does with this pair of 5'9" attackers. Already international experience for them. Will they represent Canada becomes the question after their next year, senior season.
And shot ball just long, 6-2.
Oh, getting up and getting on the ball. There's Courtney Bowen.
Well, this is the side for Stanford to make some hay. On the good side, that ball just dropping over the top of the net. Getting the McNamaras in trouble, setting it up for the block.
See if they run a play here. Oh, that ball just out. That is close, isn't it? Would you call for a challenge there? Or not a challenge since you don't have it in traditional sense, but a inspection.
Ask the ref to go take a look. This was very close.
Yeah, that might have kicked back enough sand. Oh. Stanford lets it go. Bowen with a little inside slide move.
Nice set from Villapando. That pass about 40 feet up in the air after the jump serve. Bowen moving around and getting her hand on it and getting it down on the sand. Nice work for Stanford.
Tough serve right back the other way, and that's the length once again of Bowen.
Yeah, nice floaty right down the middle.
I think you might have a line down into the Stanford bench there, Mike Dodd. Called for some blocks and some tough serving yesterday and got it. You're getting a tough serving again now. Bowen just a touch late. The lefty gets the kill.
Yeah, McNamara's continue to run back sets just to make Bowen have to move a little bit, get a little off of her timing, not get as high and as over as quick as she would like, and that's to their advantage. Keep the blocker moving. Nice pass.
And the reach, even off balance with that ball blown away from her.
That's a nice play, you know. You got a 6'4" middle blocker coming out onto the beach and taking a tough jump serve, passing on a dime, saving the tight set with a little cutty. It's good stuff.
Well, it's tantalizing, isn't it? You're developing USA volleyball if you're watching this event. you're a certain individual who might run the national team programming, Tyler Hildebrandt.
Yeah, he could be. He should be keeping an eye on players just like Courtney Bowen. Players that can go out and physically compete on the international level, because the players are so big and so strong.
The aforementioned Sarah Pavin, 6'6". Keyed by the serve, another point scored by the McNamaras.
Just makes it happen.
The mantra this year for these two teams, for this team, the number one team, adjustments over arguments. We have seen no need for either of those two things here in this particular matchup.
Running like a Swiss timepiece.
Gosh, yeah, good channel, just not quite there was Villapando.
Yeah, really nice up. Just couldn't keep it out of the wind.
And the glasses have been rejected.
Throw them down.
Actually, by both players. Oh, that was a tough serve right into the wind. It was dropping.
There's another free ball.
I don't think that one's going to go. Took 3 tries, but it eventually gets past Courtney Bowen.
Check these reactions right here. Cover yourself, and then as high as you can get it. And a sigh of relief. Nicole McNamara really whips this thing into the wind. That is tough. Another free ball.
Here is Nicole in transition, perfectly done, wrist away.
It's relentless pressure.
Set point, match point, dual point upcoming, but not before a timeout. All 4 players during this set have actually shed their glasses. That's one of those big questions. Do you keep them on? Do you take them off? Let's give you our State Farm Get to a Better State. And how do you keep yourself in the state you want to be in a match? Well, do it with the only closed chain skill in the game, the one you initiate and the one you finish. Serving, the McNamara's cornerstone.
Just putting the pressure on. That is tough.
Like the memory upon which your entire life is based, service game keying everything for Nicole and Meagan.
You see so many young players in such a rush to just get the action started. They'll realize that the serve is the only thing in volleyball that you have complete control of. You don't have to react to another player's shot. You don't have to react to your partner's set. You get to control everything. So take a deep breath. Think about where you want to put the ball and who you want to get in trouble, and then go for it.
Not too many deep breaths taken by Stein Metzger. A little frustration there, but that is someone searching for something. The perpetual dissatisfaction of head coaches.
Let's see what Nicole's got here for the first third point for UCLA, and another match win.
Another match, another duel, and there it is. Another overpass, another heater from the line. 21-12, 21-13. Incidentally, same scores they put up yesterday when we saw them at the #1 spot. So we've seen them twice. They've allowed no more than 13 points in any set. And they have clinched a trip to the winners' final.
And Izzy Carey and Meagan Muret, the 5s, aren't the only team now with 30 wins.
That's right, their 30th victory, 30-6 on the year. McNamara's with the win. And a learning experience here for Andrew Fuller and his #1 crew. Maybe Jeff Alcina will stick around one more year. Will UCLA be the defending champions of the Pac-12? Will they be defending national champions? Both of those things definitely in the conversation. So the duel decided, but certainly not these individual matchups. Simo and Yeomans have doubled up in set number 2 on Formico and Raquel.
Yeomans again just ripping that ball across court. Really impressed with Yeomans. Her ball control, how she sees the court, how she just comes right out and works with savvy Simo like they've been playing together forever.
Sophomore out of Ocean Beach puts the ball into play. Nice cross-court kill.
Really good shot. Kate Formico just painting that line cross-court.
Formico had serving sub duties indoor this year on a regular basis. That one nearly crawled over. But UCLA looking very comfortable and in control as they continue that double-up advantage, 16-8. Madeline Louise Yeomans up at the net, number 14, prefers Maddie. Simo had that one hit right to her. And now a double contact ends that rally.
Savvy Simo again just moving so well on the court. Natural born defender. Just has that anticipation, that gene that tells her where the next shot is going to be.
Well, we've talked about generational athletes on the female side of a lot of sports, covering basketball, volleyball, and what they gain from their parents who are athletes. Daughter of Celeste and Brian Simo, savvy. Father, a NASCAR driver. A lot of people wouldn't consider that an athlete, and those people are wrong.
No, they're way wrong. You got to have some good quickness and good reactions.
Well, not to mention the durability and physical capability to go through the turns at multiple Gs. Yeah. Done some laps out at Fontana. Near race speed, not race speed. Oh my goodness. Punishing. And punishing right now is the performance by UCLA in this duel and in this match. Another bad pass. That one is going to make it over. Yeomans is going to unload on it. That's a fun swing.
You heard Simo saying option. Perfect pass, giving Yeoman the option to either set or hit on 2. Yeoman just beating that ball across court. Just all the way around, from the 5s to the 3s to the 2s to the 1s to the 4s. UCLA is just so solid.
Well, Yeoman's one of the more athletic plays we've seen today. It did not turn into a point, but that was nice. Get the touch and the dig on your own.
Kat Raquel going over on 2. Nice awareness.
Talked a lot about Carey Walsh-Jennings, but one of the cousins, Kate Formico, back to serve. There's a whole bevy of cousins on the Formico side.
Yep.
Simo deep right on the end line.
Boy, did a really good job of just staying with the play on the overpass. Picked up the shot, then spun around and hit a nice deep middle. Great play.
Match point. Yeomans with nobody up, puts it into the crowd for a keeper. Someone take that ball home. And now a 4-0 lead for the UCLA Bruins. It's already assured previously that they will meet USC tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and we will have coverage for that for you here on the Pac-12 Network. Anne-Marie Anderson alongside Holly McPeak. They will be back for that matchup. They'll carry it all the way through the championship during tomorrow.
And that will be just the finals of the winners bracket, so no matter who comes victorious out of that. They know they're going to have to win one more match to take the championship.
Yeah, and could it be against each other a second time?
Yeah, more than likely. More than likely it will. They'll be the most rested team.
Yeah, the structure of this tournament, if you win, you play once a day till you get to that final round.
Amelia Smith with a nice little drop shot over the block, out of the diving reach of Sarah Sponcil. Morgan Hentz on the good side, whipping up some tough serves.
Coming up after this one, we'll have a couple of elimination matchups for you in the contenders bracket. Used to call it the losers bracket, Mike Dodd, I think back in your day, and mine. Contenders bracket, Arizona and Cal in an elimination showdown will be our next match. Then we'll have Stanford returning. They will face off with an athletic and big, dangerous Washington squad.
And Cal got to be coming in off of a loss, but they should have some confidence because they really pushed USC to the limit in a number of matches and had an opportunity to really make an upset. But now they're going to have to refocus and get ready.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround for Cal, who played in the duel before this one and will play in the very next one. A little bit longer for Washington, who lost earlier in the tournament and then played ASU early this morning at the 9:45 match.
Yeah, Sarah Sponcil is so steady, sees the court so well, takes that little peek, kind of like Kent Steffes used to do right before the attack, really knows where the defenders are going.
Kent Steffes, good reference, played at both Stanford and UCLA.
Yep.
During his indoor days. Before going on to get a gold medal in 1996 alongside Karch Karai.
Tough break for Stanford and Amelia Smith.
Coming up next, Cal taking on Arizona. There's a sky ball. There's somebody working on the sky ball. I like it. Who is that down there? Pummeling that sky ball.
Hentz and Smith really want to try to steal a couple points here on the bad side. If they can do that and get over to the good side fairly close, they're going to give themselves a chance. Ooh, Sponcil just turning away on the line. Steino. You're up 4-0, Stein. Don't get too upset.
Yeah, exactly. Take your dissatisfaction, keep it under the tent. Nice swing there by Hentz.
Morgan Hentz.
Liberos who get a chance to swing.
Libero's dream.
That arm's been fresh from back in August.
Exactly. Been ready to hit for months.
Definitely within striking distance, Hentz and Smith.
Yeah. They need to steal a point. They need to get at least one over here. Ooh.
Oh, just reaching, going outside of Hentz. Didn't seem like there was any room there.
Just a little extra quick set to the outside, and Hentz just couldn't get there to seal the line. And Sarah Sponcil, great footwork. Perfect pass, and then zip to the outside near the antenna, snapping down the line. That's good stuff. Tough break for Morgan Hentz. That pass was a little tight. Tried to make the back set perfect, and it just blew over. And Lily Justine all over it, putting that ball down and putting UCLA in a great position, even though they're on the bad side.
Match point coming up.
5-0 for UCLA.
Looking for the perfect score. All of it academic now, as most of the thoughts probably have turned to facing off with crosstown rival USC. Jeff Alzina said, look, maybe it's a matchup thing. It has to do with SC. He said, even when we play Pepperdine, we feel like going in, we got these guys covered. With SC, they always feel like, hey, we need to bring a little extra here. We need to give a little extra. You know, there's the rivalry there. There's the matchup. There's some of the history.
Yep.
USC has dominated that matchup if you look at the overall.
Yep.
But UCLA has dominated it this year. UCLA 2-1 against all the teams they've had problems with.
And Sponcil putting it down for the victory.
Now that'll do it. UCLA looking like the potential national champion that they are.
Thank you.
They run off a 5-0 there. Next up for them, USC. They are 2-1 on the season against SC, as they are Pepperdine and Hawaii. All right. There's a look at that bracket. That'll be tomorrow, 9 a.m. Be sure and tune in for that one. The showdown. That'll be just the winners. That might be the first of two meetings, perhaps, as we look at what's happened in the contenders bracket. Oregon home yesterday. Arizona State and Utah finished today. We have Arizona and Cal coming up next on the quick turnaround for the Golden Bears. Much more beach volleyball yet to be played. Nothing yet decided. Kevin Barnett and Mike Dodd, congratulations to the UCLA Bruins rolling. Next up, Cal and Arizona. Don't go anywhere.
Label